Say go.
Go.
What are we doing?
What are we doing today?
Today we make soap. Fantastic question. All right, so here's what we have: lye water, rendered fat, and other objects. Listen, if you don't wear your PPE, you're dumb. But it's okay. I'm kind of dumb. So that's lye water. Extremely dangerous right now. Extremely dangerous. Check it out. So, what we have here is rendered fat, some other ingredients that came out of my garden, and lye. Oh, it stinks real good. This is the outdoorsman soap. Now, when you're using these tools, what you want is stainless steel or plastic or glass, nothing else. Don't use wooden spoons. Try not to use ceramic. Try not to use things that are not authorized for use. Stick to the script. Oh, here, check this. Study this. Focus in on that. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to push pause and copy this note or screenshot it. And then when you're done, come back here and let me show you how to do it. So what we're doing right now is we're curing it. Now, when you do this, you've got to follow the instructions. I'm going to show you guys how to do it, but I kind of ran out of time for temperatures because it's not like we're busy around here. Okay. Now, from here, this is still really dangerous, all right? Have you guys ever seen the movie Fight Club? Shake head up, down. If you haven't seen it, just pause this YouTube video and watch the movie Fight Club. Because Hollywood gets it right sometimes. When the lye touched his skin and it burned and he used vinegar to neutralize it, that was a true story. All right, here we go. Now look, you notice how I've got this over here? So the vent is sucking. When you put the lye in the water, it smokes, it gets hot. And those chemicals, you don't want to burn them. So when I do that, I wear gloves, a mask, goggles, like I'm all masked up. Like I look like I'm, gonna go work in a lab or do some kind of chemical biological warfare stuff. I mean, it's kind of serious, it's kind of dangerous, really. Hey guys, you want to do dangerous stuff? Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Another exciting episode. Sailor's Guide to Self-Reliance. Oh, this pot is warm. Check it out. Here we go. Easy. You don't want any splash pack. Why is my soap green? That's gross. It looks like poo-poo. I'll show you what it is here in a second. But right now, it's very dangerous. For the next 24 hours, this is a chemical reaction that's happening right now. It's not, well, yeah, it is. It's chemistry. There's things happening on a molecular level right now. This liquid is going to be rock hard in 24 hours. Oh, silicone. Silicone. Authorized materials, plastic, metal, silicone, glass. Stay away from everything else, especially things that are porous. I mean, you can shortcut most things. This isn't one of them. Wear your personal protective gear, or don't, whatever. You'll pay the price if you don't, though. I mean, we're gonna cover all the steps. If I walked you through it from beginning to end, it'd be like an hour video. Nobody has that kind of time. I mean, I wish you did, but I don't. All right? So, this is my mixing bowl. See, my plastic spatula. What I'm doing now is just mixing it, and I'm filling it to get that I can actually feel the heat coming off this right now, and I can smell it. So I'll stop, wait one. I want to show you real quick before we get back to mixing and finalizing this, because we do have a little bit of time. The ingredients from my garden: lemongrass, culinary rosemary, citronella. I cut off all the leaves, none of the stems. The rosemary is really easy because you can start from the top and work your way to the bottom and just strip it. And all the leaves will just peel off, okay? And then you put them in a blender and you mix it with olive oil and you blend it until it's liquid, okay? Now that is what you put with the rendered fat, all right? Rendered fat comes from animals that have a high fat content. Now, you can do it with any kind of oil: olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. I mean, any of it. It's all the same thing. When it has that chemical reaction with the lye, it bonds to the point where it becomes solid. So it's a chemical reaction that turns liquids into solids, okay? And it's extremely dangerous. So I know that, you know, it doesn't seem like it is as I'm shooting this video, but I can assure you, disclaimer, when I'm doing this, I'm wearing these, yeah, little pretty me, little Miss Housemaker, you know, and I'm wearing goggles and I'm wearing a bandana around my face, and I'm cooking under ventilation, and I'm putting this, I take it seriously. I don't have a lot of chemical burns. Actually, that's not true. I got a couple, but you know, I've got enough scars, you know. So, anyways, here we go. We're gonna move this. Now, nothing should splash if you do this correctly. This is not a minimum requirement tool. This is necessary. You don't spin it up and then put it in, you know, you put it in and then you spin it up. And you want to do this about 6 times, 4 to 6 times, depending on the thickness, for about 20 seconds. Ready? We go now. Seconds. I'm just counting, you know, in my head. Now see, I'm not trying to move it around very much, but when I do, I'm moving it counterclockwise because that blade spins clockwise. So if there's going to be any splash, I want it to splash away from me. Does that make sense? Not necessary, it just gives you a little better mix. It's all going to turn to soap anyways. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and put my goggles on, you know, just in case. Always err on the side of safety. If there's any kind of concern and you have safety gear and you don't wear it, you're wrong. Splash on my finger. You see there? It's actually burning. I can feel it. So, oh no, what do? Ah, chemical burn. It's okay. It does kind of suck though. instant relief. This is what I deserve that for not wearing gloves, you know. Smells really good. It's very aromatic. Alright. Well, we can't really talk about the details right now because this part of the process is kind of important. I mean, you've got to mix it when the temperatures are right. Actually, the temperature was too low on the lye water, so this batch may not work. That doesn't matter. I've done this before. I know it works. I'm going to teach you how to do it properly. Whether I did it tonight, we'll see what happens. How many times have you guys heard me say that? How many times has it worked out? Okay. So, I was about 20 degrees off from the lye water. You want your lye water to be 100 degrees. You want your lard to be room temperature. Now, it takes more than room temperature to render fat, okay? You can render fat from many animals. Goats, bears, hogs. I mean, any animal that has a high fat content. The problem with, doing it all natural with olive oils and things like that, canola oil. I mean, oil is oil is oil. Fat is fat is fat. When you mix it with lye, it has the same result. I like to do something that I can do because I don't own an olive tree or an olive press. So, I can get animal fat, So that's what I do. Red dog. I gotta take care of my girl. Look at this girl. Y'all, take a look at this dog. This is a Labrador Rhodesian Ridgeback. Oh. Rescue dog. The most expensive rescue dog on the planet. One ACL surgery and a bunch of other ones later. Probably got around $7,000 invested in this free dog. Totally worth it, man. She's awesome. She's a little moody. She's retired, and I think she wants to go outside. Come on, girl. Oh, here comes that big one. Yes? No? Oh, well, I guess she was just mad because I wasn't letting her buddy in. Oh, well. All right, here we go. So you want to do this 4 to 6 times. You want to give it about 20-second bursts. Now, as this fat bonds with that lye water, it'll get thicker. And what you want, your final product before you pour it into your mold, you want it to be the consistency of like pudding. You want to be able to spin it and see a trail. You want it to be kind of thick. There's some things you can do at this point. If it's not thick enough, when the time is right, you can actually add lye to it. And we might actually have to do that with this batch. And so it might get even more dangerous. But we're gonna see what happens, because that was 4 20-second bursts. So we owe 2 more. Yeah? Where you go now? Not even close. All right. Well, it's chemistry. It's dangerous stuff. I should definitely put these on, but I'm not gonna. When I open my lye, I open it and I cut the lid with a blade so I can keep that seal, that protecting seal on, and just peel it back and scoop the lye out with a fork, apparently. Alright, just need a little bit. A little goes a long way. Oh. Oh, I can smell it. All right. Okay, typically we'd be done by now, but my measurements were off, okay, because I got in a hurry. So let's get back to this. All right, come here, guys. What do you need? Food grade lye. You just saw that. Distilled water. You can buy it or make it yourself. You can get a tabletop distiller from Amazon for about $89. Lard. You can buy it at Walmart or whatever, or you can render it from hogs, bears, cattle, or goats. Now, when you render it, you're basically just cutting the fat away from between the muscle, putting it in a pot, and boiling it. It'll take all the fat in a liquid form away and leave all the fibrous material behind. Then you just scoop the fibrous stuff out, feed it to your dogs. Food scale. All right, let's talk about food scales. Ooh, this bowl is hot. Definitely a chemical reaction going on. Now, that's 0, okay? So whatever I put in here, it'll measure the weight. Now, if I want a container to measure my weight in, I just 0 it with that container. Now, everything that I add to that container is measuring the weight that goes into the container. That's important because you're going to need multiple containers. Every scale performs like that. And it smells good in here. Do you smell that? What is that? Here's your items that you need to make it. These are things that you probably have in your kitchen already. These are things you need for protection, PPE, personal protective equipment, right? Your dishwashing gloves, your goggles, safety glasses, face shield, vinegar, that'll neutralize the chemical burn. So if you do have an accident, you know, you can fix it. But I mean, really, the smart thing would be like a face shield and, you know, the kitchen gloves, because if you've never done this before and you've never worked with dangerous chemicals, it's a good idea to kind of take some extra precautions, yeah? So, you got to carefully measure 40 ounces of lard or oil. Now, what we did was a combination of lard and olive oil that had these ingredients: citronella, lemongrass, and the culinary rosemary that I showed you. Now, what I did was I just bought one of these cheap little blenders and I filled it about a quarter full of olive oil, and I chopped all those ingredients up into pieces that were about 3 inches long, and I just blended them. Now, this was part of the 40-ounce weight, okay? That 40 ounces is key. It can't be too much more, it can't be too much less. The reason that I had to add that lye is because I over measured, all right? I had 0.7 more ounces. So anyways, if you get one of these, you can't use it for food anymore if you're going to use these kind of ingredients, because those ingredients are so powerful, it'll flavor the food that you blend in this, like, for the rest of the blender's life. So it has to be committed, something cheap, preferably if you're anything like me, that you only use for soap or scent block. We're going to do that next. Let's get through this first. I think this stuff's really starting to thicken up, and we're getting ready to pour it. Watch this. You see how I pull this thing and it's leaving kind of a trail? See that? That's about what I want. Now I want it to be a little thicker. I want it to actually leave a ridge. And if you'll look real close here, I don't know how the clarity is on this camera, but you can kind of see these waves, you know, so you can see it's really starting to thicken up. As I move this thing, it's leaving a trail. That trail is creating a wake, like a boat through the ocean. And it's making little waves, and those waves are kind of sticking. This isn't ready to pour until those waves stick and stay. See what I'm saying? Alright, so let's get back to the notes here. And guys, I knew this video was gonna take forever. I want to knock it out. All of y'all have been wanting this video, and I've been wanting to do it a month ago. Finally made time. So, directions. This is important, okay? You dump your lye into the water, not the water into the lye. Imagine having powder and dumping water into it. What's going to happen? It's going to go everywhere. So, you know, you scoop the granules out of the lye like I showed you and put them in the water, and hey, combat camera. You okay? Focus. You okay? Everybody alright? What's our time? How long is this video?
24.
24?
I'm just getting spammed with messages right now. I don't know what the deal is.
Probably because you're busy doing something else. That's when everybody wants to call me. It's when I'm doing something else. It's okay. So, you dump your lye into the water, not the water into the lye. Do you understand? Seriously, don't screw the pooch on that. you might pay the price. All right, now it gets hot when you do that and it releases toxic fumes. If you've got a vent that sucks the air and pushes it out, that's a good idea. If you would rather do it outside, definitely do it outside. I'm telling you, this shit gets hot and steams toxic fumes. If it'll burn your skin, imagine what it does to your lungs. I mean, yeah, you don't want none of that. Neither do I. So, render your fat until it's liquid, okay? Sometimes you gotta heat it up to 200-300 degrees, whatever. Get those fibers out and then let it cool. Let it cool. Let it cool to about room temperature. Anywhere between 80 and 90 degrees is fine, all right? But the key element is that lye water. It has to be 100 degrees. And if it's not, then you're gonna do what I'm doing now. It takes longer to set up. 100 degrees is what you want your lye water to be. I screwed the pooch. Learn from my mistakes. All right, so all you need, thermometer. You can get them at Walmart, you can get them on Amazon, they're cheap, they're worth it. And you can check your meat, you know. So, then you want to mix the metal or plastic, no wood, yeah? Oh, here's another thing. When you're using this, oh, we're almost ready. One more 20-second blast. That is damn near ready. All right. When you're doing this, okay, you see this guy? Come here and look at this. Come here close. You see how that works? Don't accidentally pull the trigger before you put it in there. It'll make your day so much more painful. Bury it and then push the button, okay? That's important. Don't make the mistakes that other people make. Now, after I pour this mold, it's going to take 24 hours to cure it. Take another second, focus on this, come here in the light, pause it, and then copy it or take a screenshot or whatever you need to do. But the initial cure is 24 hours. I'm about to pour this in a mold. After I pour it 24 hours later, this time tomorrow, I'm going to take it out of the mold and I'm going to cut it. And then I'm going to put it in this for 3 weeks. And then in 3 weeks, it'll be ready to use. So, I've got these little mesh things. Come here. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them on Walmart. They're plastic, they're canvas, they're made for needlepoint. I cut mine down and put them in a box. And then I put the soap in the box, then I cover it, and I put towels on it. This is gonna stay hot for 24 hours. All right, that's the curing process. Let's get this done. Okay, one more blast and then we're pouring. We're ready to go. All right, come look at this, guys. I want to show you the consistency. You see how it's leaving a wake, how it's leaving a wave? You see that? All right, that's ready. Still dangerous. For the next 24 hours, that's dangerous. You don't want it on your skin. When it cures, it's perfectly safe. And the neat thing about soap that's made with lye is it has a chemical reaction with viruses and bacteria, and it actually penetrates the cell membrane and makes them explode. You know what this does? It gives you cancer. Pick one. This is the last. I'm not talking smack and palm olive. Actually, of all the liquid soaps, this is the safest. But I'm done with it too. I'm done with it. I'll show you how to do liquid soap too. You You can actually take bar soap and make it into liquid soap. It's pretty easy. All right. So, got a bunch of different kinds of molds, you know. Alright. I'm just going to do this one first because it's big. And then I'm going to do the square one, and then everything that's left over, I'm going to do for the samples, you know, for my friends and family, people that aren't sure about it, so they can try it. You can literally lather up with a soap, take a shower, lather up, rinse off, and go outside, and the bugs won't give you a hard time. Today I picked 7 ticks off of both of my ankles, 5 on one side, 2 on the other, that had burrowed through my socks. Little seed ticks, these little tiny bastards. I'm telling you what, if I would have washed up with this, that wouldn't have happened. All right. This bowl's damn near hot. Oh, I touched it. And it's definitely burning. Oh, it's slippy. Okay. Got it. Oh, this party's bullshit. Oh man. Seriously though, have a little cup of vinegar on standby so that way if you do make a mistake, not a big deal. Chemical burns suck because they don't heal fast. Oh man. That little bit of vinegar though, neutralizes it instantly.